because this is something that I didn't talk about in the other lectures. So setting up your MLA formatting in a Google Doc, all right? In the case that you don't use Microsoft Works, I would go ahead and immediately go with inserting page numbers. Again, you want to use the insert option because it's not just a one, it's actually an algorithm. It's actually a code that's being written. If you just type one yourself, then your last name and one would appear on every page. Okay, so we need to do that. And then before I even start typing, I would go to format and go to line and paragraph spacing. See, like their default is 1.15. So you need to go to double. Okay. And then you go ahead and begin with, and when it comes to text, as in font, I don't really care between Arial, Times New Roman. I don't want Pacifico, and you can't use Oswald or Caveat or any of these other ones. But I guess if you're like, hey, I'm from Georgia, and I rep Georgia stuff. I mean, Georgia's a fine text. I mean, whatever. But impact, no. Lobster, no. Even Lexant is too big. That's no. And I know Google Docs default is Arial. I like Times New Roman. It doesn't matter as long as it's the same, regardless. And I don't really care between 11 and 12. I mean, me growing up, and for the last 15 years of teaching, it's always been 12. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Microsoft and Google started doing 11. Okay, but if you're more of a 12 person, then you can go to 12, but no 13, no 10, no 14, just 11 or 12, whatever. So we have heading, English 1102. We have a due date of what I don't know, 27 May 2024. Okay. Center title, boom. Now I prefer for body paragraphs, this is not required. I just think it's better to do justify because it let's see if I can show you. Let me pull up just a random document. Let's see. Okay, so traditionally, MLA formatting has a line left. Okay, and here you have how the left side is lined up nice and smooth, and it's in line with your heading, right? But then over here on the right side, you have this mountain range. I mean, it's like someone trying to eat bricks and their teeth are all broken and jagged and stuff. So to me, being a book reader and reading all the time, I like the way that it looks like in my novels. So I hit justify, and it cleans up the right hand side. I mean, to me, this is just so much more aesthetically pleasing. I don't understand. It's balanced. All right, this is art. So I push for justify. That is one thing that you won't lose points for because technically it is a line left, but no professor or instructor is going to mark you points off for having a beautiful, clean edge. Okay, so it's just not officially in the MLA book. So I can't take points off for it not being justified. But pro tip, okay, the justify is much better of an alignment than left. So once I go to my next line, I would personally make it justified. So copy. Okay. Now here's the problem with Google Docs I don't like. It creates things that were originally not there. See this space? This space should not be there. And when you go to format and you go to line and paragraph spacing, there allegedly is no space before paragraph. Look, it says add space, which means there is no space. but there is a space there. So I would have to go here, hit add a space, and then I would go here and I would hit remove a space. And then do the same thing with after, and then remove, okay? And it tends to shrink it just minutely. And so that's kind of annoying. And then also it's annoying when you try to do citations, which really I'm going over citations in a couple of weeks, but I will still go ahead and emphasize this, that as you'll see in the future lecture, citations in a Word document, these are much easier. They have these hanging indents, and Microsoft Word understands that if you have this here, the citation here, and you want to indent these lines, you go to the end of the previous line and you hit tab, and most of the time it just does it for you. It's like, cool, I got it. But with Microsoft, with Google Docs, sometimes it has a more difficult time doing it. Oh, of course, it's going to do it now easily. Oh, see, okay, like especially with web links. So then you have to break it up yourself and do that, and then have this annoying space in between that really shouldn't be there, but it's there. You go. So you have to do a little more work with Google Docs. It's great because it's free. And you can always access your Google Drive as long as you have internet wherever you are. It's on your phone, that's awesome. But then it's also annoying though, that it's not quite as user friendly. Okay, and see if you notice here about fonts, if I select all, my font here is blank, and that means that there's inconsistencies and that's because I started here and this was Arial, and then I copy and pasted this paragraph, and that's Times New Roman. So whenever you copy and paste and things are blank, that means that things are not all on the same page. So you have to reselect. Okay. All right. So that's that's something new that I didn't teach you in the in the recorded lectures. Does anybody have any questions about that or anything else?
I have a question about citing quotes from her book.
Sure.
So when we put in a quote after it, would we just put Irby since that's her last name and there's no page numbers?
Is there no page numbers on the PDF I gave you?
I don't think so.
Well, let's double check.
Yeah, there's not any page numbers.
There's no page numbers? How could they have uploaded a book? Oh man, I'm really second guessing getting free books from the internet. Okay, well, technically there are. Okay, so here's the issue. Technically there are page numbers, but maybe I'm reading it in a way on my screen. The page numbers are here. Do y'all see things like this? So like, if I'm quoting something from the first essay, like, I live for a glamorous lifestyle blog featuring some gorgeous and genuine piles of secret wealth that she never devoted, blah, blah, blah. If I quote that, to me, I would look up here and that says that's on page 9. But I'm also using Adobe Reader. So is that the wrong assumption? Do y'all see PDF page numbers on your when you open up your document?
I'm checking.
Okay. You see, and this is a good question because, like, when I was grading this, I know for a fact when I'm grading this, I was going to be looking for page numbers being listed with this idea, and so, but I don't have y'all's view, so
So for me, I do not have page numbers because I just click on the link and it opens it up in my web browser. And so I don't have any kind of page numbers. And all I did was I did into the gross and I just open parentheses into the gross, close parentheses.
So when you look at it online, there are no page numbers. Okay, let's see. So when I gave you that link, you can't, y'all don't actually download a PDF.
I didn't. It just opened up in a web link.
Oops. Okay. All right. Where did I? Let's see. Someone has a chat. All right. Savannah says I have page numbers on mine when I pull the link up. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, I want you to practice using page numbers. So I'll make this announcement right here. If you don't see page numbers on your page, for the sake of this assignment, make it up. All right, make up the page number. I do want, I mean, part of this assignment was to practice the things that I discussed in lecture 1. And in lecture 1, I discuss page numbers and citing your sources. So with that in mind, yeah, using quotes, yeah, all that, right? So if your PDF pops up with a page number, use page numbers. If your PDF, you're like, look, dude, I'm looking at it, right? It's a web, I'm using this web link. Okay, there's no page numbers. Then guesstimate what page you think it might be on, because I'm not going to go and check that. Here's the thing about this, right? Is that like, thing with citations is that you know, writing a paper and having citations is kind of like doing your taxes, where for the most part, if you put in all that right information and it looks right, the IRS is just gonna, they can't fact check everything. They're gonna assume, oh, okay, this seems right. But then if anything should ever come up where they have like the slightest like intuition, something doesn't feel right, they will then go and they will fact check everything to make sure it actually is correct. And so, you know, with papers, especially academic papers that exist forever, when you upload them, they're forever there in the databases. That like seeing that you have a citation and page numbers, all that stuff, that like, okay, that looks right. But like we teachers, instructors, we don't have the ability to go and actually go to every single source and look at that page to make sure that that quote is from that page, you know. But in the case anything should ever pop up where someone is doing an investigation into your academic career, they could then go to your sources and actually then see if what you did was correct. And if it turns out it wasn't correct, you know, then that could be held against you or whatever, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this. I'm more about you practicing the correct structure, style, format of writing. So if your computer doesn't show you a page number to for this book, for this assignment, make it up. In the future, you won't always have page numbers because you will be using electronic sources. But for this assignment, I did specifically choose a book, and I did choose a book in which I can see page numbers, so that way you could practice the skill of including page numbers. That's not it either. Okay, so there's my official word. You should have a page page number at the end of every quote, because I want to see that you know how to insert that parenthetical citation correctly and punctuate it correctly. All right. Now, in terms of Irby, now, because let's see here. Did Amarachi ask that question?
Yes.
Yes. So if you, per my lecture, if you mention Irby's name in this sentence, then you don't need to put that her name in the parenthetical citation, just the page number or the page number. If you don't mention her name in the sentence and you're just talking about things, you know, whatever, then you do need to have her last name in the parenthetical citation. Do you need me to further explain that? And I can also go to the example. I can pull up the example if you want me to.
Okay, that would be good.
Okay. Let's see. Lessons. Okay. Oh wait, no, I guess the sample is in the PowerPoint week 1. All right, so like as discussed here, all right. In this example, we have a quote, and there is no mentioning of who said this quote. A successful adaptation in film is, quote, keeping to the heart of the original story, emphasizing the best features of literary work, and not changing anything fundamental to the original story, quotation mark. And then we have the parenthetical citation. We have the author's name here because his name was not mentioned in this quote. But if you are writing a sentence in which you're like, Samantha Irby is hilarious because she talks about being married and how her real life begins once her wife goes to sleep. In which she says, and then you have the quote in your sentence. Then in that case, you would just need a parentheses, the page number, parentheses, and period. Because if the author's name is mentioned in the sentence, it does not appear in the parenthetical citation. Okay. It is incorrect if you mention the author's name in the sentence and you put that author's name in the parenthetical citation. That is incorrect. So here's my example here. Okay. Oh my God, our meeting's gonna end in 10 minutes because I have the cheap one. Sorry, y'all. Putting it all together. So in the essay, now see the example here, Justin. I capitalized the title of the chapter, and I capitalized the title of her book. Okay. I just need to do that consistently. Anytime I mention her stuff, I need to capitalize it. Now, many people in other types of styles, they would not capitalize it. They would do lowercase. And that's fine as long as they consistently use all lowercases. In the essay Love and Marriage from her book, wow, no, thank you, Samantha Irby. I mentioned her name. Samantha Irby tries to dispel any overly glamorized notions of marriage when she very bluntly writes, everything is boring, blah, 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 blah. All right. So in this example, I don't have her name in the parenthetical citation because I mentioned her name right here. Okay. But if you said something like instead though, but if you were like, maybe you don't say Samantha, you say, you know, one thing I really enjoyed about this book, about this essay is how it discusses that her real life begins once my wife goes to sleep. Okay, in that case, Irby is not mentioned at all. So we would have Irby. We would have either if you actually read that on page 22 or there is no page number, so you just make one up for the sake of this assignment. I'm only asking you to make this up for this assignment, okay? Because I want to see that you understand how and when and what needs to go in the parenthetical citations, okay? So you would have that. In that case, you would put Irby's name in the parentheses. Okay. Does that help explain it to you, Amarachi?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Great. All right. Any other questions? Now, I will go and tell you all that lessons, if you are in the mood to move faster, okay, weeks 2 and 3 are available. They are available. I've even posted the recorded lectures for those. There's 2 lectures plus the live one that we'll do 1 week from today. And look, they won't always be on Thursday. Sometimes my schedule might be better on a Wednesday. Sorry, it's just the way it's going to be. So regardless, I will put up a survey asking you, if I have the lecture on this day, would you be able to come? Okay. But week 2 stuff is already all up. And week 3 is up already. The PowerPoint notes, the recorded lecture, the assignments. Okay. You can thing about it is that, like, I don't like people to access the week stuff, the stuff in the weeks before I post a lecture about it, because I have gotten people who were a little too what's the word I'm looking for? They want to get through the things too soon, and they did work before watching my lectures, and then they received low scores because they didn't do the things I asked them to do on the lecture. Okay. And so the lectures are really important. So if I get time to record the lecture early, then I'll go ahead and give you access to those weeks. But if I'm not able to record a lecture early, then I don't really give you access yet. Okay. And like week 4, most of week 4 stuff is not going to be using a PowerPoint. It's going to be I'm going to go over essay examples from previous years. I'm going to go over an essay that a kid used AI and talk about that. I'm going to go back over integrating quotes. So this is going to be not really a PowerPoint. This is more like moving back and forth through different papers and essays. And so I might record that one early, or I might wait till that week. I've had a lot of free time right now. So you can move quickly, more faster. You can move faster through this course over the next couple of weeks if you want to. But again, I mean, we're already shoving 2 weeks worth of work in 1 week at a time, and moving at a pretty fast and pretty busy pace. Sorry to say, but I mean, this is a 8-week summer semester course, so that's what you get. All right, we have 5 minutes. If anybody has any final questions, comments, or anything they want to make. Because I am out of information, I think. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to post this for review. I'll post this as a YouTube link, and in case you need to rewatch it or whatever. Okay. And if you do end up having questions as you're going through anything else, then you can email me and I will answer them. All righty. Okay. So here's the Thursday. Hope you enjoy your day. Oh, wait, I have 2 chats. Let's see here. Oh, well, good. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. All right. Take it easy, y'all. I'll see y'all in the future.
You too. Thank you.
Yes. Bye-bye.